Hello, hi. Sorry, a bit late today, as we've gone live. Only 7 minutes. Oh, always a faff. Anyway, I hope everyone is well today. Really looking forward to this session. Today is all about how to really not just set goals, but really understand and get clarity on what actions you're going to take, because so many times, and I see this a lot with businesses, is that they go, I'm going to achieve this, or I'm just going to have a great business, and there's so much that's vague about that kind of a goal. It's not a goal at all, it's just a really nice idea. And as the saying goes, a kind of a goal without a plan is just a dream. So really, it's about setting goals. Now, I always like to chat, certainly at the beginning of a relationship with a client, and just phone up and just have a conversation that says, what are you trying to achieve over the next few months? And I like to identify kind of like the annual goal. What's the annual goal? And then break that down into say, like, okay, in 6 months' time, what's it going to look like? And then we're going to say, well, yeah, but how do you get there? And what's standing in your way? So I'm going to go through with you a bit more into a model that I use, unbeknowingly to clients, just to really help get clarity, because so much of the time we're out there, we get so lost in our business that we don't actually spend any time kind of just having a look at what's going on in the business, what's going on when, or we set a goal and go, well, I don't know, I just want to increase sales. And then you think, okay, how? And this is where strategy comes in. And it always is surprising, and to extent I have massively had to learn this way. When you know how to do a job, so when you know what to do, like what you're selling, and you're really good at that, actually having the strategy, like learning how to run a business in terms of, oh, I've got to sell this, I've got to have strategies and plans and relationships with people and things in place to follow. Suddenly you realize that you don't have all that, and there's a lot to learn about running a business. And of course our accounts tie into this as well. So I'm just going to quickly show you exactly what I do and how I do it. And for those of you that are watching live in the Facebook group, please do, I've got questions open. So if you have any questions at all, then let me know. If you're watching this on replay, do put hashtag replay in the comments. And if you're listening to this in the podcast, come and say hi in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is called Launch and Reboot, a community, or the business owner community. And it's attached to our Facebook page, Blue Arrow Accounting. And this is a space really to help people get the systems in place in their business so that they can really launch themselves with the right technology. And it isn't about starting up your business, it's about getting things in place, especially in the current times, to really make sure that you are helping yourself move forward as a business owner, as a human being, and also the business itself. So without further ado, this is the model that I use. So the first thing to do when you are trying to think, okay, what am I setting out to achieve? Now, this could be, what am I just going to achieve this week? It could be the quarter. First of all, set a time frame for what this is covering overall. This is what I recommend. I used to do this. I always like doing it on a what I call the long-term goal planning and then short-term goal planning. And that's it means that you're kind of breaking down your long-term goals into a series of little mini goals that you can then, it makes it more easier to achieve. So it's very much the, how do you eat an elephant? one bite at a time. So that's what we're looking at there. So first of all, set the time frame that you're looking at. If you're going to do a big planning session, then obviously you're going to need a really big, just get a big sheet of paper, or something that you can draw on, or something on your tablet, and outline what it is that you want to achieve. Now, this is how we're going to get real clarity on breaking that down. So the first thing is, what is the goal? Now, this is really important because we could just put anything. I want to make £1 million by Christmas. Great. But we kind of need to run your goal through the SMART process. Is it specific? I want £1 million, I want to, be specific. £1 million of what? Profit, turnover, 1 million clients. Be specific. What is it exactly that you're trying to achieve? The next is it measurable? So what can you measure? Now, this is where your accounts really work for you. So I really want to get into that. Accounting, I know it sounds boring, but it is exciting, because knowing your numbers will help you achieve your goals. And it's so much more than just keeping HMRC happy. It really is. There's so much more to it. It will drive your business. It is your guidance system. So if you're looking at so for instance, Xero account, then you should have your dashboard, which has instantly you'll be able to see what's coming in, what's going out. But some really handy reports to look at is your P&L. So keep an eye on what your expenses. Use the budget manager in the reporting section to help you plan your goals. So right, how much do we need a 5% increase each month to achieve this goal? What spending is going to increase if I achieve this goal? If you're, for instance, buying any products and every sale creates a direct cost to that product, then you can monitor that. Your figures tell you so much, and especially cash flow. So we mentioned that last week in last week's episode about cash flow, and we use a product called Fluidly, which tags in to your Xero account. It pulls out the figures. And it's really great because it gives you that quick overview, that plan. It's very intuitive. It's so helpful. There are other products. I think last week someone mentioned that they're using Float, which is also a great tool. It's we're very lucky to have a lot of incredible tech out there that helps us within minutes. And that's the bonus of systems and automation, is that it gives us our guidance to make decisions. So do this with me. What is your goal? What is your goal for the rest of 2020? What is your goal for 2021? You could do this in any kind of, what's your goal for until next week? What's your goal for the weekend? Have a gin and tonic. That's my goal for this weekend. I'll let you know if that's measurable. Okay. It's always good when you laugh at your own jokes. So just have a look at your goal. What is it that you're looking to achieve? Is it specific? Is it very clear on what that goal is? So for instance, sales, gone over that bit. Is it measurable? Brilliant. And then the rest of it, is it realistic, and is it timely? So just have a think about those portions when you're setting your goal. The next stage is, what is your current reality? What do things look like at the moment? So if we're saying, okay, I'm going to turn over, should we say, £1 million by Christmas. Okay, great. Let's look at the realistic opportunity. And again, you can use a variety of information to look at that. So things you'd need to look at in your business is, what position are we in? A really good one, especially at the moment, because things happen so quickly and we don't know what's going to happen, is really clearly look at your cash flow. So what money have you got coming in, and what do you need to spend in the next however many, something like sub 80 days until Christmas at the moment, just recording this in 15th of October. 2020. So with that many days until Christmas, not long at all, how realistic, also what's your reality in terms of what you've got to spend and what cash is coming in? So what is that buffer that you've got? Have a look at your reality of what your connections are and what position you're in to get that turnover. What is your sales pipeline? What kind of things have you got going on? What is just the current situation? Again, just have a check. Zero Dashboard, again, is really good at this. Look at your reports, just see where you are, make sure you're keeping, obviously, all that data up to date. Data is smart, but not smarter than you. If you don't give it the information, it has no idea what it's doing. So just keep that on target. Okay, so the next bit, once you've kind of established what the goal is, what the reality is, then you need to look at what opportunities you have to actually achieve the goal. Again, a bit of sheet of paper or just or some sort of whiteboard on your computer and just start sketching it out. Okay, put the goal in the middle, keep in mind your current reality and start having a think. Okay, what are the opportunities? How am I going to get, what's the best way? Because, and I love this section. Love this section because you start really clearly thinking and ideas pop into your head. So this is the ideas bit. Ideas pop into your head. Oh, I could talk to X client who we did something with at the beginning of the year and I should contact them. And maybe if we change the product slightly to be more inclusive, maybe if we looked at a different model of pricing, actually we could, instead of selling a product that's £20,000, we could sell it for £40,000, something like that. Just increase, obviously, whilst fulfilling your client's needs. So really, or there's a bigger deal to be had out there, you might suddenly see these opportunities. Now, that's all well and good, and we're usually very good at getting to that stage of ideas. Yes, especially if you're like me, I'm, as the team know, I can be like a squirrel. It's just that's my personality. My behavior type is that I can very quickly be distracted by the shiny object syndrome, which is, oh, isn't that exciting? Luckily, the last year or two, I've managed to recognize when that's happening and actually go through and see, is this keeping me on track? Is that keeping me on my goal? And that's what this next step is, which is, what will you do about it? So this is the accountability bit. What will you do out of those opportunities to achieve the goal? So have a think about that and run it through. Think, okay, I've got this £1 million I'm going to get by Christmas. I've identified a sales opportunity or a partnership opportunity, whatever it is. Maybe there are some promotional days. I know a lot of people are thinking currently, especially if you're in e-commerce, about things like Christmas itself and Black Friday, etc. So think about those opportunities, but think about what is, again, realistic, and then you make a promise to yourself. So promise away and just see what's going on there. Okay, so that is the piece of advice for you today to help you really keep on point. And just to recap over that, it is set your goal, make sure it's specific, make sure it's measurable, make sure that is you completely understand. Vague is a real enemy in terms of goals and planning. Okay, you want to increase your sales. That's not good enough. By what? By when? Really think about the detail, and then you're able to set goals and cost and plan and things like that. Let's see, or it could be that you're going to make 5 new hires by March. It could be whatever it is. So first of all, goals that are specific and measurable. How are you going to measure it? Okay, what does success look like, basically? The next is, what is your current reality? Get a snapshot of where you currently stand. Now, that means you've got to keep all of your figures up to date and accurate. Not only your figures, things like your sales, have a look at your relationships. If you've got CRMs on the go, have a look at all of that. The next bit is then identify the options that you have. I said opportunities, I think, before. Options really is what we mean. What options do you have, or opportunities, to achieve the goal? And next is the accountability. What will you do and when will you do it? So that's when accountability, if you don't have someone you work with, a lot of the time when you're an owner managed business and you're on your own, it's so hard because you don't have someone to just kick ideas around with. You don't know what's working. You don't know you're kind of reaching out. So having an accountability group of fellow business owners, you're not there to sell to each other, you're just there as almost a little boardroom together. I have a couple of these, and most a lot of business owners that I know do, where you go and you have a collective meeting of minds, and you can all raise a problem, say, I am curious, or I'm wondering, or I have a little bit of a problem with X, Y, and Z, or I'm looking for someone to do X, Y, and Z. So could even be a recommendation through a network. But traditionally speaking, it's, I'm having a problem with Amazon or Spotify. Has anyone had this before? Does anyone know what to do in terms of digital marketing strategy? Has it worked? Has it not? And rather than Googling it and speaking to someone who wants to sell to you, it's just, what they've experienced. So it's having like another business partner, but that just gives advice, which is really, really lovely and really supportive. And it's always nice to have someone who's on the same journey as you. So if you don't, I'd really recommend having an accountability group, because your accountability group, you can then share your goals and the whole system, and they can keep you accountable and make sure they keep you on track. And when you have obstacles in your way and you have challenges, then you can ask them in a trusted way. You can ask them how to achieve it. So I hope that's really helped. And I really believe that running a business, you really do have to have very clear goals. I know for a long while I didn't, and you meander along, and even though you meander along happily, it's never gonna kind of expand and go, and then you end up somewhere you didn't intend to be. So even if it's just to try and keep you on a track, doesn't have to be right. In 20 years, I'm going to have this, and I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to do that. Although I do always recommend having an exit strategy in mind when you have your business, because it's always good to know where you're heading towards, even if that changes. Okay, that's it from me this week. Do let me know. Contact me if there are any questions at alexandra@bluearrowaccounting.co.uk, and come back here next week at 3 o'clock in our Facebook group going live. Next week, we've got Ian Parker from Autos Financial talking about getting money into your business. So if you have any questions, post them in the group for me so that I can interrogate him and see what is going. But we've also got some really exciting sessions. I've got a cyber security who has been dealing with Brexit. She is coming on board and coming for a chat in a few weeks. And I've also got someone talking about anxiety and mental health in November. We have got a really, really exciting program of talks and events. So do stay tuned, stick around, and please, if you have a question, ask. We are here to support. It doesn't matter what you're doing. we're all in a storm at the moment where I really believe that digital technology can help so much. So just keep us posted, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.